What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here. As promised, we have new CGC pricing. This is something that they teased back when they did the initial announcement, combining CSG, rest in peace, with CGC, rest in peace, Blue Labels, into just the straight up CGC cards with the new Gem Mint 10 grading scale, with the new non-blue label, black label right there. They announced that new pricing would be coming in the near future. Fast forward to today, we are now in the near future, and we have the new pricing. And it is pretty aggressive, to be quite honest with you. The other thing they did away with is in the past, you had to have a membership to submit. That is no longer the case, but you do get some pretty decent discounts if you have a membership. Those do not include that Windows update that just popped up in the corner. So, baseline, let's run through these real quick. Bulk, no membership. If you just average Joe and you want to submit, you do not have a membership. 25 card minimum, $12 a card, 20-day turnaround time. Pretty quick. Economy, $15. Express, $50. Walkthrough, $150. So if you're just talking about from a PC perspective or lower end perspective, $12 a card, pretty solid for a 20-day turnaround time. I could tell you right now, it seemed to me they were running a lot faster than that recently. I had sent a couple Spider-Gwen cards through the ComC direct to grading from Unbound, a couple rainbow foils that I picked up on platform, and I wanted them slabbed up in the blue label before it went away. And I submitted those maybe 10 days ago, 14 days ago, and they were already back in my account a couple days ago. So that went lightning fast, and that was through ComC's group submission services. And that was, like I said, I think that took less than 10 to 14 days total. I don't remember the exact day that I submitted it, but it turned pretty quick. Then they have two different membership options. The first one, you get a 10% discount, and the second one, you get a 20% discount. So if you're an elite member, you could get grading bulk all the way down to $9.60 a card with a 20-day turnaround time is very, very affordable. I know CGC does not necessarily get the respect in sports cards on the secondary market. In the Marvel world, they were competitive. We'll see how the non-blue label thing shakes out. TCG, not my realm, so the comment section could probably speak better to how CGC competed in that space, but it might be a little bit different now with the whole label switch up and the subgrades going away and all that, so it kind of might be uncharted territory in those regards. So outside of some pretty solid pricing, especially at the bulk level, especially if you are at the elite membership under $10 a card, or if you can find a group submitter, depending on what their rates are, if you can't meet the 25 card minimum. Not too shabby. Even with the non-membership, $12 a card is pretty reasonable. That's the cheapest that I can think of in the industry for bulk at the moment. SGC is not that cheap, and PSA is not that cheap, even on a special level. The other thing that they have done, which I have confirmed with them, if you go over to the submission page here, one of the knocks on CGC in the early days was they had good pricing or fair pricing, but they would really nickel and dime you with a lot of built-in fees. There was like a $5 handling fee. They would charge you a couple bucks for extra thick cards. They would charge you for imaging. They would charge you for error cards. They would just any little thing that they could kind of tack on, they would for like 50 cents or $1. They just basically wanted to play microtransaction you to death. That seems to have gone away. I talked to some people over there, and they confirmed to me, because I didn't see it on here, so I wanted to double check, that pretty much almost all of those little microtransactions are now gone. There is no more handling fee, no more fee for thicker cards. The only thing that's stuck around is the $2 autograph fee. If you want the auto graded, which I get, everyone charges to get the auto graded, so that's not a huge deal. And I believe that's quite a bit cheaper than most of the people in the industry. So that's fine. I hated all the other little like $1 here, $2 here, $5 there. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it definitely adds up. So most of that fee structure, it looks like, has gone away. Also, they don't charge for imaging anymore. I don't know that you're just going to straight get the images, but I know that you could find the images on the registry. So if you go to the set registry and put in the cert number, the images come up that way. That's what I always did in the past. I never paid for the images. I would get them that way. So it looks like they're still imaging the card. You'll just have to pull them up from the set registry page if you want them, or if you want to track those down. I would use those to post stuff to eBay, stuff that I was looking to sell before I even have the cards back in hand. It was always convenient for that. So that's the new pricing. Once again, fairly aggressive out of them in regards to the individual card price. I know, secondary market value is not there, but if you have PC stuff that you want to send in or give them a shot, it seems pretty fair. I'm still debating what I want to do with that X-Men set that I was working on. I did not send in a bunch of cards to get blue labels. That was just not in the cards, no pun intended. To have $1,000 in grading fees to finish off that set or whatever it was going to cost me, and run around and try to gather up the cards and all that stuff. So I have about 10 to 15% of that set done. I need to make a call if I'm going to abandon that project or reholder them and press on, or just leave them as is and forget about it. I am not 100% sure what I want to do with that. Though if I do go to reholder route, they have not announced national pricing yet, so I don't know what on-site grading is going to cost at the national with them. But if they do $5 reholders at the national, that would be a really good time to get some stuff done if you are heading to Chicago to save on the shipping to and from. So I'll probably make a call on that before I go to Chicago. But once again, we do not have firm pricing on that yet. So where do we currently sit right now? And this is an ever-evolving thing, as once again, we are in news season. These things are changing by the day. Here's my quick summary. If you want to maximize value, if you are purely grading to flip and time is not of the essence, or you're not super concerned about having it back ultra fast, PSA is your go-to for most stuff. If you are in the flip game and you want to churn and burn extremely quickly, and you are really on top of it, like when a product first releases or something like that, or vintage, SGC is probably your path if you want to choose that way. But there's narrow windows on some of that stuff, especially on the ultra modern side. Vintage, a little bit of a different story. Anything vintage, I would definitely send to SGC without question. It's not even a thought in my mind. It would just go there. If you have niche case items, thicker stuff, still the same thing applies. Beckett's out there. My biggest problem with Beckett right now, and this could change literally any minute if they decide to announce something, we really just don't know what's going on with them yet. So I would be hesitant to use them for anything until we have clarity on what they are doing. Because I would not want to send cards off and then get surprised on what those cards turn into, given what they did. If you wanted to send the Beckett, I would honestly just continue to be patient and hope that it's a card that is not time sensitive, or if it is, send it to one of the other companies. But until you get word out of them, I cannot in good conscience tell you to send them stuff. We just don't know what they are doing. So until we get word out of them, it's going to be a pass for me for them for most things. I have, once again, said this a million times, I have a card I would like to grade with Beckett. I hope to do it on site at the National, but that's going to be determining basically off of what they do. Could swing that. And then last but not least, CGC. I think they are the perfect company for PC grading. Say what you will about the secondary market values. They have the absolute best slab by a mile in regards to clarity, especially if you're grading refractors or anything shiny. It really pops in their holders. So if you just wanted a card slabbed up for PC or the looks or to get it graded, but you're not concerned about resale value or anything like that, as of right now on the sports card side, that's where they kind of fit in. On the TCG side, I'm just not as familiar with it, so I can't give too many comments on where they kind of fall in right now in regards to pricing. If that is your field of expertise, feel free to let me know, or let the audience know in the comments down below with Pokemon, Magic, etc. And then Marvel, once again, we were kind of in uncharted territory with them. In the past, the blue labels sold decently well, not PSA level, but decently well. We don't know how that's going to shake out yet right now either. But they would be my absolute, no doubt about it, go-to for anything PC oriented. If you just wanted a card and a nice slab to protect it, and maybe have a grade on there, have it look good, sealed up, without hesitation, they would be my go-to for that stuff. We'll see what happens over time. I think CGC definitely has the staying power. They're a massive company. They're a massive player in the comic book industry and the coin industry. they're not going anywhere, that's for sure. So if anything else, they'll be able to outlast everybody else until it's just them and PSA as a worst case scenario. But that's all I got for you, boys and girls. Curious, as always, for your thoughts and comments down below as we move throughout the month of July and news season in the sports card / collectible world. Catch you, boys and girls, on the next one. Peace.